Hello, Dr. Laura Murillo, President and CEO of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Very excited to have our next guest on, who's been a great collaborator with the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She's a fierce leader, and she has just been an extraordinary leader. We're so fortunate that she's here in Houston with a great team behind her, by our side, by her side, making sure that things are getting done in this greater Houston region. And in particular, during a really exciting time where Houston is going to be on the world stage very soon. And she's in the middle of all of the excitement. And thanks to her, your Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is also at the table. And through our work with the Houston Harris County Sports Authority, I'm excited to be on the executive committee. And we also want to thank all of our elected officials, including our mayor and others who have been just great representatives, making sure that Houston is able to shine, not just during the World Cup, but for a long time thereafter. So our guest is none other than Jessica O'Neill. She's the president of business operations for the Houston Dynamo Football Club and Dash. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to speak with you. And for you to say anything wonderful about me is a bit ironic because there are few leaders who open as many doors in this city as you do, Dr. Murillo. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, it's all about collaboration, and that's one of the great things that I personally love about Houston is that people understand how important collaboration is, and what a more perfect time than now to make sure that we are connecting the dots for a long time to come with the business community, with sports, with the Dash and Dynamo. It's a very important time. And then at the same time, on this international stage, and to have you at the helm of what's got to be exciting. And of all the people that I've been working with and collaborating with during this exciting time, I'm going to say you're the only person involved that in the middle of all of this planning had a baby and came back to work. So kudos to you.
We keep that on the download. No, yes, I'm sure there's not many in that same situation, but I have an incredible husband, and life doesn't wait. That's the thing. There's always something going on.
Well, and it's important because, again, as women, as leaders, as executives, we're also oftentimes, leading a family, and children, come and we give birth to them, and then we continue with our careers. And so, Jessica, for sure, kudos to you because that is not easy. I still remember you at one of the last events, and I'm like, you're still working, and you were moving around the stadium. And that's what we do as women. We keep going, we find a way to continue to take care of our families, take care of business, and take care of our team. So, kudos for that and for being a great example to women. So, now, Dynamo Dash, you're gearing up. What do people need to know about this exciting time in your season? You're having sellout record attendance at the matches.
Yes, yes, we are 2 games in, 2 home games for the Houston Dynamo. In 2 games in, it is the strongest start to the season that we've had in 5 years from an attendance standpoint. That's not something that we take lightly. We know what this 6 month run up to the World Cup is like. We know there's going to be a tremendous amount of interest following. We didn't really want to wait. You strike me as somebody also who doesn't like to sit back and wait for things. We didn't want to wait to see the World Cup come, maximize that momentum and then hopefully capitalize on it with the rest of the season at the end. We wanted to come out the gate strong. So we focused on what we had heard from the community about what people were looking for that might be holding them back from coming at all to Shell Energy Stadium or to coming more often. And a lot of that, quite frankly, was pricing, accessibility. This is an economy where, people think twice about how you spend disposable income, but also your time. And we have to make sure that it matches, that it's valuable because this is a competitive market. There's so much to do on any given Saturday night. We need to make sure that if you spend your time with us at a match, that it's worthwhile for your family and your friends because you could have been doing one of many other things during that time. So yes, it's been a great start.
And it's so exciting, the pre-festivities, the ambiance before the game begins, the band, all of the hardcore fanatics that are out there yelling and screaming. And it's just, again, I think a great story of persistence and staying on it in terms of building a team and building that audience so that after all of this work that you guys can look around and say, hey, we're on the right path in 2026. And you're going to have some phenomenal opportunities during this big game that's coming up in June and July. Talk to us specifically about some of the exciting things coming.
Yes. So the Major League Soccer season and the NWSL, the league that the Dash play in, they both pause as soon as the World Cup tournament gets started, which is very helpful because it allows us to open up the stadium in a very different manner and allow the focus on soccer to be at the highest level while the World Cup is going. So we also have the benefit of proximity to the FIFA Fan Fest location that the host committee is driving forward with the mayor's office in the county and so many stakeholders, because it's not easy to pull off, a several block outdoor space into the beautiful footprint that we know it will look like. And they're
And July in Houston,
yeah,
Texas.
correct. They're working on programming something for everybody, and we have an opportunity to complement that programming, because there will be days where there might not be enough space in that FIFA Fan Festival footprint for everybody who comes down to East Downtown and wants to watch the matches that are going on. We think that's especially the case on certain days when Mexico is playing their group stage matches. We have a curated program around those 3 group stage dates, knowing that hopefully they play later on in the tournament as well. So our goal is to open up the doors of Shell Energy Stadium during the tournament so that as many people as possible can come through the soccer specific stadium downtown, even if it's just on their way to FanFest, right? Hop in, get a drink, get some elotes, take a photo of the pitch, see what it looks like if you've never been, use the restroom, get some shade, and go check out everything that is set up at the FanFest. Other days there'll be a lot more programming. There'll be music, there'll be watch parties, but we are leaving no stone left unturned, that's for sure.
No, and I know that we are, working on a collaborative opportunity so we can make sure our local businesses take advantage of this. And so it's just an exciting time. It has to be something that your team is not sleeping. You're running on adrenaline because this is going to absolutely open so many doors. And again, I just want to emphasize, Jessica, how proud we are that we have a woman at the helm there at Shell Energy Stadium leading these efforts. And your team is just a dynamic, great group of people that want to leave their mark and want to be part of this historic time in our big city. But I want to shift just a second to ask if you knew you always wanted to go into sports, because again, it's a male dominated industry.
I did. Well, maybe I didn't. I went to college orientation. I went to the University of South Carolina and I sat in the business school presentation and I wasn't really captivated. And somebody in that same conversation, flagged with me that the university I was at had a program for sports management, and I didn't have real clarity on what that was, but they essentially said it's relevant if you want to work in sports. I'm like, well, I love sports. If that's a path, let's look into it. And I, like so many people, I grew up going to live sporting events with my father, with my family, like that. Those were gathering opportunities and memories for us to, for me, it was college football, American football, that my dad and I would go to a couple games a year. You'd be in stadium with tens of thousands of people all rooting for the same thing. You might have nothing in common with the person to your left or the person to your right, but you're cheering on the same team for the same reason. That was exhilarating to me. And the fact that I could make it a career was a dream come true. And it's been amazing. So it wasn't a goal, but sports have always been in my life. I was a competitive volleyball player for a long time. That competition runs through a lot of us, obviously, in these roles that we're in. And I'm fortunate that gets to be my job, that I can be around the spirit of competition every single day.
Well, and it's very evident that you're driven by, again, making sure that Houston will stand very proud on such a significant time in sports history. And we want to again say thank you for all the work that you all are doing, and in particular, again, for taking care of business and making this an experience for the entire community. And if you've never been to one of the soccer matches, please visit their website. Go out and support the Dynamo Dash teams. And again, we'll see you there. Your Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce will be there during this exciting time in partnership with the Dynamo Dash. Jessica, thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you so much for the partnership. We're excited.
Bye-bye.